Hey guys, I'm Carl,
I'm Nicole.
and today we're going to talk about the real devil at the Conjuring house.
Who is it? Abigail. Abigail.
No.
Abigail's the real devil. She wasn't a devil. She was a witch.
She was a witch. All right, so we're also going to talk about the real history of the Conjuring house too, because
Do you have it written down?
no, not at all, because it's irrelevant to the story, to be completely honest with you. All the claims of the Conjuring house have been debunked at this point. There's no point of real hashing it again. We can go through the quick view of everything. But my opinion is I don't think Abigail had anything to do with this house. And I also think that the witch that killed her child.
That was Abigail.
Okay, so that was Abigail. I thought they called her another name, like Baba Yaga or something like that. I think her thing is that, like, they just pulled the name out of the book of people that died in Rhode Island around the time that the house was built. And since she was accused of being a witch, I think is her story, that's where they pulled it from. And so when the witch, the ghost hunter people that did the Conjuring, Ed and Lorraine Bobbitt, let's talk about, so you said Annabelle, right?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, do you want me to tell you a story of the Conjuring house?
What? No, Annabelle's involved. Bathsheba Sherman.
Oh, Bathsheba.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was right. I just forgot the name. I said Baba Yaga. It was Bathsheba. So it's Baba Yaga.
Okay, so
I'm going to
Bathsheba.
have so much fun editing this.
Got it. Okay, so Bathsheba was the witch.
Yes.
Who controlled Abigail, and then Abigail killed her child by piercing it in the eye.
No. So, this is where. So Bathsheba was the one that killed. Bathsheba was the one that killed her child with the needle in the back of the head.
Okay.
Right. She controlled Abigail to just try to kill her child.
And then the parents moved in, and then the parent mother tried to kill one of the daughters because she was possessed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And when the parents moved in, they started seeing all this paranormal activity, and they called Ed and Lorraine Warren to come, and then Lorraine Warren did a seance and opened the portals of hell.
And then didn't close it again because,
and then didn't close it, and
Yeah.
then it got way worse. And
Right.
so then the Perrin family actually moved out,
Right.
and then someone else bought.
That's why you only give a down payment on contract work. You don't pay in full.
Because you don't know when they're going to close the portal.
They didn't finish the job.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the parents moved out, and then someone else moved in.
Yes.
And had no paranormal activity whatsoever.
Right. For
Years.
50 to 70 years worth of living there.
Well, is that what it said?
That's what I saw.
Okay.
This house is like 150 years
it's an
old or
old
something.
house.
But it's before and after, right? So the people that lived up to the Perrins, no activity. The Perrins, activity. After the Perrins, no activity.
And then
So out of the 150-year-old the house, 15 years of it had however long the parents lived there. So the rest of it, none.
right. And then after the parents moved in, another people moved in, and then they sold the property to another couple.
Mm-hmm.
And then that other couple knew somehow
The story of the Warrens.
that
Yes.
the story of the Warrens, and knew that they were about to make films about the Warrens and the Conjuring house.
Right.
And so then they capitalized on it and made it into a haunted Airbnb that you could come stay in and rent out.
Yeah. But Airbnb is stretching it a bit because they actually kept the house more historically accurate.
Okay.
So.
But they capitalized
Of
on
course.
and then at the same
But they were
time,
also believers. They also believed that there were paranormal activity at the house that they experienced. This is just what they're saying.
Okay.
So the parents nobody else, and then the owners who bought it as a haunted location.
Okay. So they bought it as a lot, and it was around the same time that one of the Perrin daughters wrote her memoir.
Oh, see, I didn't know about that one.
So she wrote her memoir. The Conjuring house movie was coming out, and they bought the house and they capitalized on it. So it was
Sure.
all commercialism all at the same time. So they
Yeah.
may have believed it, but
It's a big coinkydink.
yeah, it's
That-
coincidental that all that kind of happened around the same time.
Right.
Okay, so they owned the house until what, 2022,
Somewhere around there, yeah.
and they had a whole staff. They had these people that did some kind of paranormal knocking thing.
No, I don't.
Yeah, they started working for them.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they
came with the house.
Yeah, they came with the house. So as part of that whole like Conjuring world, whatever, they had the psychic people.
Mm-hmm.
They did tours.
Right.
What else did they do?
So they had the daily tours. They have. You're talking about the previous owners, right? I
right.
don't know. I don't know anything about like what they did. I do know that they allowed people to go in and stay overnight.
Right, and they would allow ghost hunters to go in, and it was all kind of at a reasonable rate.
Right. Mm-hmm.
To go into the Conjuring house and do it,
And there wasn't a lot of stipulations too, because I think that was the time that like the Ghoul Boys, Ryan and Shane, went to the Conjuring house. Would have been during the time of the previous owners.
Yeah.
So it would have been much more open experience than it is now.
Okay. All right. Well, you're jumping ahead. So quit jumping ahead. I'm trying to tell this linearly from what I know.
Which way?
Backwards.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to start.
Merlin, I live. My time is reversed. I know it's Benjamin Buttons. Go ahead.
Fade to black. Okay. So.
It's just a brain aneurysm, but it's okay. Go ahead.
No, that's like sparklers in your brain.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Fade to black is just when you die.
Oh, okay.
All right. When the DMT is out of your system and you're just gone.
Yeah.
That's fade to black. All right. Okay. So the owners created a whole industry around the house with the psychics and the caretakers and the business of people coming in, ghost hunting, people coming in.
And I have no problem with you capitalize on a supposedly. It's like going to Universal, right?
Yeah.
I go to Universal for the experience.
I would love to stay at the Conjuring house.
Yeah,
I
of
would
course.
absolutely love it. I think it would be so much fun.
Yeah. You say that until you go there and you're like, where's the showers and where's everything else? And you'll be like, no, I'm out of here.
Yeah, so you got to go camping out back. It's like, I'm done.
I'm done. But, I go to Universal for the experience, but I don't go to Universal thinking that there are actually Transformers and dinosaurs around.
Right.
I know this going in. I have fun because of the illusion of the experience.
See, what I love is I love Americana history.
Yeah.
And the Conjuring house is 100%
Americana
history. It's like this weird story that has been blown out. It's like Amityville Horror was this weird story. I would love to stay at the Amityville Horror house.
Yeah.
Because that's just this Americana.
Well, every location that the Warrens talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really put it in perspective, is every place that the Warrens talk about, it would be cool to go see, knowing that it's not really haunted. It's just fun.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they bought the house. They created a whole business around it, and I think they bought it for like $450,000.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. And then in 2022, they sold it for like $1.5 million.
$1.5 million.
To a woman who inherited all that stuff that came with the house.
Right, because she didn't buy the property, she bought the business.
The business and the house, yeah. And she was apparently a businesswoman.
Yes.
Who bought it.
I think she's also a lawyer. She was a lawyer at one point.
Oh, yeah? What's her name? Do you know her name?
No, let me look it up.
6.5 hours later.
Oh, yeah, Jacqueline Nunez.
Okay, so Jacqueline Nunez bought it.
In May of 2022.
Of May of 2022. And I think she started off well with the team because she was just learning how everything was.
Yeah.
And then starting in the beginning of 2024, it kind of all went to shit.
I feel it was a little bit before that. I think it's just that people were like, "We'll pay," and you didn't get like the big names coming through. It wasn't until you had some of the skeptics go through with other paranormal teams, and then after that you had like the debacle of I keep wanting to say Ghost Project Fear, as well as the Sam and Colby stay there as well, because it's very unusual how they kind of like, you can see them debunking on the spot, which they don't normally do, and then just 5 minutes later accepting everything that they just debunked. You know, like you can see them like especially whenever you have the so Corey and Satori.
Corey and Satori,
Yeah.
and they were the psychics with the tapping.
Yes.
Okay. So I think it might have, like, I feel like when she bought it, and then she added all kinds of what, in my opinion, are just crazy stuff to the leasing agreement.
There's a lot. So yeah, let's start with the legal side of things. So one is that you can't have more than 2 YouTubers, not paranormal teams, but YouTubers. So if you're there to create content, you can only have 2 channels, I should say.
Each one of those channels has to pay separately too.
Ish. So there's a base rate. So I think it was $1,300 a night if you are going to create content from this location. So there's a rate that you pay. I think it's like $850 if you're going to stay the night, and you don't get to upload anything, which is interesting to me because how would they know if you're a no-name YouTuber and just trying to get your name?
She has to have some kind of
Yeah.
alert on.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
YouTube.
So, and then there's another rate, which is like a media rate, which is not uncommon. So this is the thing about it, is that this practice is not uncommon. So
I've never been ghost hunting, so I
Yeah.
don't even know.
Yeah. So a lot of the when you're there with a media presence, a lot of cameras and staff and stuff like that, they typically charge a higher rate because there's usually a lot more work that goes involved as well.
Okay.
So then there's the rate of you're going to record or not. So, and that's for one channel. So, and there's a number, there's also a group amount as well. So like, I think it's like 6 people, 6 people per channel or something like that. And then that gets you to about 1,800 or so. And then if you are another channel that wants to come that same night, you don't have to pay the other fee. You have to pay that media fee again. So they have to pay another $500 or so on top of that. So for 2 channels to stay the night, it's $2,500 a night. Now that doesn't, and this could be wrong, and this was all from the people that even stayed there. They don't know if it includes anything. Like, there's food around.
Bathrooms.
Yeah. Well, they got rid of the main room that was supposed to be haunted as a gift shop now.
Okay.
So
yeah.
and you're not, so you get walked through there at the beginning, and then it's shut off the rest of the night. And then the basement is also being used for storage, and that's shut off.
This is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
just the amount of price gouging.
Yeah.
It feels really price gouging to me. I mean, YouTubers make a lot of money.
Can make a lot of money. Think about the small YouTubers that will never be able to go because they're not going to foot that bill, thinking they might not ever get it back.
That is such huge price gouging. It just feels gross. That just feels gross to me. I understand a media fee, but a media fee for like a channel like Colby and Ryan,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah,
their names.
Sam
right?
and Colby.
Sam and Colby. Sam and Colby. Like them. Like, they've got 5 million girls that watch their channel,
Yeah.
right? And that makes sense. But for the other channels, it doesn't make any sense. And it feels like like she's such price gouging. And then on top of it, she's getting free publicity
Yep.
on it too.
Yep.
So not only it's like, because when I look at the videos and I see it, and oh, this is Americana. I love this. I'd love to take my family to go stay a night.
And ghost hunters are looking at it the same way. I would love to go do that and do my own ghost hunting.
And at this point, when you realize how much she's price gouging,
Can't afford
it's
it.
like, no way, I would never spend that much money. Look,
So
especially
you would
when
do
I could-
you would do a day tour, right?
at this point, after
No,
all
I
this,
mean-
I wouldn't. Before.
Before.
I don't know. It just feels so gross that I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I think if I was going to spend $2,500, I would much rather go to like.
A haunted bed and spa, all-inclusive
Yeah.
spa with
I'd
food.
go back
and-
to the Stanley Hotel. I'd go back to the Crescent Hotel. I'd go back to one of these other.
You know that
Americana places.
all-inclusive Mexican resort that we want to go to? I bet that's haunted, and we should go figure it out if not.
Exactly.
I'd rather go and do that and make
Yeah.
some BS content, that way.
Then spend the money at the Conjuring
Then
House.
spend the money on the Conjuring
Because
House.
she's benefiting in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's benefiting from the price gouging and then the free publicity that she's getting from the channels.
And it gets worse, too. So once you've paid all of this and you've done your filming and you've done your editing and you've done all this work, and you know that if you're there for 10 hours, you imagine if you had 4 cameras running, that's 40 hours worth of footage that you have to edit through, sound, coloring, the whole 9 yards. You then have to submit it to her for approval before you can publish it on YouTube.
That is ridiculous.
Yep. So if you spent all that money, all that time, and if you have 4 cameras, that means you're hiring all these people. You're paying for their salaries. You're paying for the editor, the colorist, and stuff like that. Because you can't submit the raw footage to her. It has to be the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
So now you are probably close to, I would say, $7,000, $8,000 in.
Yeah, so you've already spent all that money that she's price gouged you.
Mm-hmm.
You've spent all of the money that it takes, the time and effort to edit your video.
Yep.
And paid if you have support staff. And the smaller people are not going to have that support staff.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she could unilaterally say, no, I
And
don't.
that's it.
I don't.
And
wanna do
you're
this."
done.
And then you're out thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Because she has put that in the legal document that
Yep.
you signed because she was a lawyer.
Yeah. Now, we could give her the benefit of the doubt here and say that, okay, that's to stop misinformation from getting out there. But the issue is that the story that they tell at the Conjuring House is in misinformation.
Right.
So what does that mean? Like, what misinformation could you possibly give about the Conjuring House? Because if you say what they say, it's all wrong anyways. So
Because there is no Bathsheba, there is no Abigail. All
no,
of that
all
was
those
from-
people exist, but have nothing to do with the house.
and they were all from Lorraine's head. When she
yes.
was like, ooh, doing her thing.
Yeah, because they looked up, show me a witch from Rhode Island, and which turned out to be not a witch. She was just accused of one, and then later they said that no, she isn't one. She was found innocent of being a witch.
You're a witch.
Her kids did not die at all. They there's no record of them dying. There's no record of murder. There's no record of any of this stuff. She just pulled out a name. It sounded witchy.
So all of this, all of the lore around the Conjuring House, we know at this point is non-historical and made up for
Yeah.
a good story, a
But yeah,
great
it is a good story.
a great American story.
Mm-hmm.
And Nunes took it, and now she's saying, I have to. Not only you're spending thousands of dollars, your content has to be exactly on message and on brand for me.
That is the assumption, and the reason is that when you write your material, your terms of service like that's the only way that can be interpreted. So she, like I said, she could be totally like, no, you can put out whatever. I'm just making sure that nobody's saying some other weird stuff or like talking about devils or whatever. But
Or Sam and Kobe. What are they? Ryan and Sam and Ryan. What are their names?
yeah, you said it right, Sam and Colby.
Sam and Colby
Mm-hmm.
are going to come in and try and get BJs from everyone. That's what her terms of services are really for.
Yeah.
She doesn't want Sam and Colby to come
Yeah.
and like say, hey, everyone's got to blow me.
Yeah, which is what they said too.
Yeah.
Just got these. I don't usually use this for 25-year-olds, but man, these kids.
You remember being a 25-year-old?
Not like that. But I also didn't have a channel with millions of viewers either, so, you know.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
maybe
different-
that's what she's trying to prevent.
I doubt that.
It based on the price gouging that is very much price gouging. It feels like it's more of you have to present on brand
Right.
the Conjuring house, and anything that's not on brand
Will get dismissed.
I will veto.
Yeah, and you can actually see this in Project Fear as well as Sam and Colby's videos as well. So when you have, well, let's talk about the next issue with the Conjuring house is the other legal side, because we never finished the legal side too. Once you get all through that, now you have to sign the waiver. Okay.
The waiver of the UFOs and the
Right.
and the werewolves.
If you get attacked by Bigfoot while on the property on Rhode Island, that the Conjuring house. Okay. There's a part of me that goes like, I love whimsy.
I love that. Yeah.
To a degree, right? But this is a legal document, right? It's not like there should be a sign that says we are not responsible for ghosts attacking you, like at the haunted location that's in the bar that everybody talks about.
Bob
In the-
Mackey.
Yes. Like that sign.
Yeah.
Okay, fun. You know, whatever.
is
It's
fun,
not
yeah.
a legal document.
Yeah.
But you're having people, as a lawyer, you're having people sign a document, a legal binding document.
That if you get hit by Bigfoot,
Or
What if you
abducted
get-
by a UFO.
what if-
What if you get sexually assaulted?
if you get sexually assaulted by Bigfoot, what if Bigfoot takes you to join his sweet pray love cult?
Yeah.
Then what? Are you covered then?
No. It
So-
doesn't say. It does not say that if you get indoctrinated into Bigfoot's cult, we're not legally liable. So that means
There's
that you
a
can sue
loophole.
her.
Yeah, there's the loophole. Because
His eat, pray, love cult of Bigfoot.
Bigfoot's eat, pray, love cult.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so
And I did see a video, because I've been watching all of this Conjuring House stuff, which is absolutely hysterical. Somebody said that there's no Bigfoots in Rhode Island, but it was somebody with a non-American accent that said it. The thing about America is there's a Bigfoot everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not just in the Pacific Northwest. I think people who are non-Americans think it's only the Pacific Northwest. It's not true. Bigfoot is everywhere, in every state.
It's everywhere.
And it doesn't matter where you are. In any kind of wilderness area, there's a Bigfoot.
Well, we saw Mothman in Chicago, so you know.
No, Mothman legitimately, we saw it on Netflix. He legitimately moved from Point Pleasant to Chicago.
There's more people. Yeah.
Better work.
That's right.
Better opportunities.
More, he did it for the content. So okay, so we get that's the legal issues, the stuff that you have to, all the loopholes you have to get through, all the shit that you have to sign, and you have to sign your full first and last name as well.
Right.
And all of your
And everyone
details.
who's going to be at the place.
At the
yeah.
place.
Yep.
Yeah. So, which that is understandable. Like, I wouldn't want someone that I don't know who is in a building like that, because that building does have historic significance.
Yeah,
to it.
absolutely.
Okay. So you get through all of that, and then let's talk about the issues actually inside.
With the psychics.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got the two psychics that she has hired, that she's brought on
Continue to hire. Yes. Continue to employ.
from the previous people. And apparently they were doing their thing previously, but it never made it onto a YouTube channel. That's what I'm really confused at. Like,
they have though.
how did they just come about?
They
in this?
haven't. They are on.
People just bought this last year.
Yeah. No. So.
Yeah.
So, according to Corey, I think it's Corey or Cody. I think it's Corey. He's been doing it since 2009.
His little foot tapping thing.
Yes.
Okay.
By himself,
Right. Okay.
which goes against what they've said. So there's an interview with him saying, "I've been doing this since 2009." right? And then they met in 2012 or 2017. Like,
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
They met.
They met. And then now that they're together.
And then they fell in love. And then they got
and they
married.
found out that they had this special thing.
They have a connection.
They have a connection that only works now with the two of them.
Okay. Yep.
So to begin with, it was him doing it by himself. And then
now he brought her into the grift.
and now all of a sudden it's always been the two of us. And her story, the numbers have changed since his original interview. So you can even look at you can just look at their 2 interviews and just go, it's BS right from the beginning.
Yeah.
You don't have to go further into an investigation to debunk them.
So what they would do is they hold hands,
Mm-hmm.
and then she became a human Ouija board, and she'd go A, B, C, D, E, and then
all of a sudden you'd hear
a tap, and it was him tapping his foot or
there's like a tendon in the ankle and the toe, and if you do it just right, it makes a popping sound. It sounds disgusting to me. I'm like, I have ankle issues.
You have issues all around.
I have problems with my ankle, so him doing that with his ankle just really grates me.
Well, now that you know, based on another YouTuber, a beardo,
Mm-hmm.
Proved that it was his ankle.
Yeah.
But before that, I wouldn't have known. You look at them and it's you watch that and you're intrigued by it,
Mm-hmm.
especially because they're coming up with such specific information about people. But the Project Fear people, he said, "Oh, your grandpa likes to smoke cigars with you."
Yes.
And
he was like, "Tell me a name of a cigar."
And they couldn't, and then they deflected. So they're really good as a group with that shtick of the popping and the human Ouija board, and then they're really good at the deflection.
Yeah.
That's where they excel at. They excel at oh, look over there.
Yeah.
Oh, look over there.
Yeah.
And not very many most humans, when you're faced with
freeze. Yeah.
they freeze.
Yeah.
But the 2 of them are really good in the grift with
And I actually
misdirection.
don't think they are that good, because their go-to is, oh, the spirits aren't communicating anymore. It's like
really?
their standard go-to. The spirits
Okay.
just don't want to communicate anymore.
When they don't know the answer.
Yes.
They just say, oh, the spirits aren't. But I feel like most psychics are like that, are really, really good with that misdirection, that mentalist misdirection.
Yeah, of course. And
most of us, 99% of the humanity is not good at that.
Yeah.
So when you come across somebody who is good at that, it's like,
yeah,
you're like,
it seems legit.
Wow, it seems legit. Yeah.
It seems legit. So what has come up from this is a lot of their other videos. So they didn't go directly to the Conjuring house. And so this is why I don't think they've been there for a long time, is that they were going around, they would hang out with other paranormal people and work on their trade through them. So they would go to almost like parties, like dinner parties, and be like, here, look at our thing, and make sure that you...
So, 19th century, turn of
Yeah.
the century
Yeah.
stuff.
And the way there was these sisters, the Bell sisters, I think was their name. And the Bell sisters, their act was a little different, where they would go through the alphabet and you would hear a tapping noise whenever it would get to the right letter. Oh, I'm sorry. It's exactly like their thing.
From 150 years ago.
Right.
Oh.
And just like now, they were trying to prove that you're not doing this. And they're like, well, look, you can see our feet. Because they were doing it with their ankles. Mm-hmm. So they'd wear these big dresses and they could stick their foot out and you could hear the tapping. So you could see their feet. You couldn't see their ankles. And then finally, someone was like, a group of people are like, we don't believe you until...
Show us your sexy ankles.
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, my modesty will not allow me to show my sexy ankles.
Actually, I think that is exactly what they did. We are too modest to show our ankles, because that's too risque. So they had all these excuses, and then it finally came to it. They were like, of course it's fake. We're doing it with our ankles. This was entertainment, and we are helping you.
Yeah.
with closure. And that was their whole thing. They were run out of town. So same MO, same everything. The whole misdirection thing that they learned from these two women from, 200, 130 years ago, whatever. So this isn't anything new.
This is us being human. as human gets. Like,
Yeah.
every time I saw them, I was like, oh, this is so human.
This is such a human thing. This is such a human thing.
And the reactions, the people's reactions to it. But maybe Corey and Satori, they had never had as wide a viewership as, and maybe that was it.
Well, I think what happens is that there are certain things that happen in front of you that appear differently than when you see them on a screen. So the one thing is that if it happens in front of you, you don't have time to process debunking.
Exactly. And you're in the Conjuring house.
Well, no.
So you're already predisposed.
Go outside of that, because you got to remember they were nailing this before they went to the Conjuring house, so they were perfecting it. Because his ankle wouldn't pop sometimes. She would lose count on the lettering, and you could see that every time that they were on camera, they were getting better and better and better at talking to the spirits. Right. So how does that happen? If you are talking to spirits, you either are or you aren't. There's no practicing at this. So they definitely practiced. They got better. And I mean, it looked cool, but after 5 seconds, I was just like, this seems so hokey to me. But now you're in the Conjuring house, and now you don't have to remember as much. You know the story of the Conjuring house. You know the story of Baba Yaga, and you know the story of all of, the people that are involved, Lorena Bobbitt and all of them. So you know all that. You don't have to remember anymore. So now what is the thing that you have to remember?
Is the people that
are there. Now, if you needed to find information on somebody, what would be the information that you would need to know? Their full name and address.
Which is on
which you have to fill out.
What Nuna is required for them to be there.
Yep.
So I feel like all of this kind of happened at the same time.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think that Katori, we're going to call him Katori from now on, Katori, because that's what Side-Eye Guy does. He calls him Katori.
YouTuber, yeah.
And so that's what, I feel that they kind of came in around that same time. Like maybe they were there a little bit before, but that wasn't the big thing. I think they came on when Nunez bought the place. And that's my feeling.
So I was
it's all
thinking,
nebulous.
I was thinking they were part of the shtick before she bought it. She bought it, and then she just
ramped it up.
Just like.
Because I think now
you've had those terrible bosses.
Yeah.
She really feels like an unhinged, terrible boss.
She is. Yes.
Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah, and we still haven't gotten to the crazy bits yet.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the situation inside the house.
So she instituted probably all kinds of standard operating procedures that were like off the chain crazies.
I could see her having a lot of unwritten rules.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, and if you just broke, like she had it in her head, you're supposed to act a certain way, and when you don't, then you're on her outs, and like she just sounds totally unhinged.
Yeah.
So she bought the property. She created all these crazy rules.
Started decorating the place too to make it look.
Created a gift shop, which had never been there before. Made a gift shop.
Put in all the Ouija boards. Put in all the Annabelle dolls that don't have anything to do with the Conjuring house.
I would do this. I would do the same thing.
But that's a Warren thing. You could have had a separate section, like the barn that they were redoing when it caught on fire. The barn would have been a great place for that. For the gift shop, for the Annabelle dolls, for if you wanted to have a section that's devoted to the Warrens, that would have been a perfect place for it.
Yeah.
Buy the Ouija boards, buy the Ouija blankets, buy all that stuff. But I think the Conjuring house
should have remained the way it was.
Because when I go in there, I see carnival.
Yeah.
And when I see that, my perception is just gone. Like I go, There's Ouija blankets. I'm like, so they're not taking this seriously. So why would
But
I?
that's another weird thing is that, oh, I get it. Because you cannot bring a Ouija board
You
in.
can't even use one.
You can't use a Ouija board in there. But they've got the human Ouija boards that are there.
Yeah.
So that forces you to buy their services.
Yes.
Because you cannot perform it yourself. So you have to, and then she's taken a cut off of their services as a human Ouija
So let's
board.
talk about them. They don't get paid by anybody that stays at the Conjuring house.
So they have to be making money somehow.
Okay, so let's start with the fact. They don't get paid directly from that. Okay, yeah.
Ooh, we just got the lights.
It's a ghost. And the reason being is that in the state of Rhode Island, okay, let me take it real back. During their little thing that they do when they're doing the clicking and the counting and the words and all that stuff, she specifically has stated, the Katori, that they do not make money from this service that they provide. They keep saying that.
Okay.
Okay. And that is the reason they say it so many times on camera is for legal reasons. In the state of Rhode Island, it is illegal.
To be a grifter?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
That if you make your money by lying to someone, it is illegal in the state of Rhode Island.
Well, they are clearly making a lot of money somehow. So
Right.
how are they making the money?
So they are on the payroll because they are on the payroll of the Conjuring house. So they are hourly rated entertainment thing. So they're not making their money directly by lying. They're making their money because they are performers on a piece of property.
So when you purchase the night,
It comes with their service.
it comes with it, or do you have to pay extra for their
I don't remember seeing it extra.
Because that would make more sense if they were paid extra
Yeah.
and they're hourly entertainment workers, then she's making a huge cut.
Oh yeah,
off of them.
absolutely. That's
So if she says, if you want psychic services, or if you want
well, if you want
Ouija board services,
if you want Katori, because you know
need
who it
them.
is because we've done all the videos of it. So yeah,
you need to. And again, this goes back to price gouging with free marketing.
Yeah.
By pulling these people in.
Exactly. And Katori followed these ghost hunters around for like the entire night almost. They were and spouting off their other nonsense and
And that was Colby and Ryan that she did.
Sam and Colby.
Sam and Colby.
Yeah.
Sam and Colby.
Yeah. So
I'm usually good with names, but I'll just like ghost hunters.
I've heard these so many times. It's not even funny anymore.
Sam and Colby.
Yeah.
Actually, our teenage daughter is the one that introduced us to Sam
And Colby.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they were small and
Yeah, she loved them.
yeah.
She loved them.
Now she's just kind of like, nah. They just scream and they're
Yeah. She's gone through scary. She's got scarier stuff now.
yeah. She's gotten jaded.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So let's move on to Nunez.
Okay, so we're here. The beginning, around 2024, the beginning of 2024, when she starts really getting unhinged.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes. And I think it was shortly after the Sam and Colby and Project Fear videos came out. I think that's when this all really kicked up.
Was she getting a lot of hate? Because, we get a lot of hate.
Yeah. I'd imagine so, but I also imagine that after a year or so, you just kind of like, it's just, that's what it is. It's, it's no
I
big
don't
deal.
know that trolls really get to you.
Yeah, but this is what really ramped up, and the reason being is that I really think that Katori is what ramped up everything, because they were being shown as like these mediums that like know these personal information, and people were debunking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as easy, Googleable.
Right.
things.
So I think what happened is as they were looking into these people, they were looking into what was going on in the Conjuring house as well. Because at this time, the worst that she was doing was just charging a boatload and making changes that people questioned.
And nobody really knew about the price gouging, I think.
Yeah. So Side-eye guy was actually the one that brought it up for me. I'm sure it was brought up by other people, but the issue is that nobody wants to bring it up because she can remove your video.
Yeah.
So they don't talk about it. He was in a unique situation. He joined as a guest of one of the ghost hunting groups, but he didn't. But he never uploaded any of his content to the channel.
I bet she would come after him. She seems fairly litigious.
Yes, she is. She is not. It is not a question of whether or not she is. She's told people that she will sue your ass off.
Yeah. So recently, though, she's made national news. So all of this was YouTube drama.
Yes.
Like up until like 5 days ago,
Yeah.
it was all YouTube drama. And then a few days ago, she made national news.
I didn't know she made national news.
Yeah, national news. Because she fired her, I don't even know what his title is.
She fired the vice president. I know that.
She fired the main guy, the main ruler of the Conjuring house. I don't even know what it's called.
So I saw that interview with him. So he was like vice president of
maintenance.
No, it wasn't called maintenance, but it had a fancy title. It was like vice president of operations or something like that,
Yeah.
right? And they asked, what does that mean? And he's like, yeah, this just basically means I just do whatever I need to do around the house.
Right.
He was the maintenance guy, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was the character.
But he was the main guy. Like,
Yeah, he was the main character. And she fired him. This is what made national news.
Yes.
Because some spirit came to her and told her,
is one of the spirits of the Conjuring house that's supposed to be there. Not any of the ones we talked about as another guy.
another spirit
Another spirit.
came to her, told her that he was stealing from her.
Right. Specifically from where the cash register, or there's a cash box, right? And that cash box is under 24/7 surveillance. So she could have easily just gone back and looked, or just ran the numbers.
Yeah.
And she said, no, the spirit told me, and you're guilty, so I'm letting you go. Now,
Wow.
that's one thing if it's hearsay, right? Like he's saying this, so we don't really know. She admitted to it on the Facebook page that the spirit, it's called being, she had a name for it, hearing voices in your head.
Oh my goodness.
It's like being like a medium something.
Clairvoyant.
No. It was a weird word I've never heard of before, right? But I think it was crazy. That's the word. Never heard that one before.
You never heard that word before.
So she says that this is a real thing, that hearing voices in your head is just a form of medium, like medium voyant or medium voyance or something like that. I think that actually might be the word.
Audio voyance.
Not audio. That's audio. A medium voyance, I think, is what it is. It's like
Okay.
hearing, you hear it. I know what you're saying, but it was like you are the medium that hears the voices, the voyance thing. Yeah. So I think it is medium voyance or something like that. But whatever. And that is totally normal. That's totally natural thing. It's real. And, anybody that disagrees with me just doesn't understand the Conjuring house and spirits, basically. It was like 400 word thing.
But this man had been a maintenance worker with the old family. So he had worked there for years.
He knew the place inside and out.
And he was there to let people in when they were staying. So then she fired all those people. And
Well, no, it gets a little worse than that. So after he gets let go, he says, I want my money from the 3 months that you haven't paid me, because she hadn't been paying him for like 3 months. She said no because he stole from me. And she also like deleted a bunch of stuff off of Facebook, changed like a video, did a bunch of weird stuff. Like, didn't delete the video, but changed the video. So all the comments don't match the video. It's like she was like getting rid of something for some weird reason. Also told all the employees that if you talk to him at all, you are fired.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Because he's a felon.
That's some high control.
He's a felon.
Is
right?
he really a felon?
Well, yeah, because he stole $3,000 from her.
Ah.
He's a felon. So no trial, no nothing. She's not going to press charges because, she doesn't want to run his name through the mud. So he starts a GoFundMe because now he still hasn't been paid for the past like 2 or 3 months. And he's got no money. He's got no food. He starts a GoFundMe. She jumps on the GoFundMe page and says, "Do not pay this guy. He's a felon. And I can't believe he's doing this. He stole money from me because the spirits told me that he did."
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So there's that going on. Okay. So later, everybody but one quits on the same day, including Katori. So these are all the people that did the tours during the day, the tours at night. And these people were working like 12-hour days because they would do the day tours and the night tours. So she's now down to one person that's doing the tours, and I heard someone say, I really hope that this person's doing okay because it probably is a dangerous situation for them at this point.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what her mental state is, and if she does have mental issues, she really does need to get help. Like, she doesn't need to be made fun of or ridiculed. She needs assistance. Like, she needs help, unless this is all a ploy to make the I don't think so.
But it adds to the lore.
It does.
Oh my
It
goodness.
does. So I was down this path for a while, and then I watched Jason Hawes from TAPS. So Jason Hawes is Satori's father.
Oh, wow.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So TAPS, they've done their own questionable stuff.
Yeah,
but overall, I trust their stuff
they
more.
were our first introduction into ghost hunting. Was to
Yeah. We found TAPS and we were just like, oh, this is cool. This is fun. And they're not, acting crazy.
Yeah.
So I watched, he did a live stream with Side Eye Guy, who Side Eye Guy is basically calling out his daughter as being a fraud.
Yeah.
And he got on there and he was the complete gentleman. Mm-hmm. And he talked about everything that's been going on. And what he said was, he goes like, look, 99% of the places that we go to, there's nothing going on there. So everything that we've ever shown you is that 1%. And I can also tell you too, demon possession, never seen it. I've never had an attachment. I've never had a possession happen. I've never seen a possession happen. I've never seen it occur.
But they're so much fun.
Right. It's entertainment, right? Mm-hmm. So he said, don't give her the benefit of the doubt that this is a demon possession, that the spirits are possessing her to do this. That is not healthy for her.
I don't think so. It's definitely not healthy for her, but it adds to the Conjuring house.
It definitely
lore.
does.
Like, it makes it go, in 50 years, she's going to be one of the ghosts of the building, and the tour guides are going to be like, and then they bought the place.
Nunez's woman.
The Nunez. She haunts it now, and like it's just going to add on top of.
And my conspiracy theory little heart tells me that this is an act, but if it is an act, she just lost everybody for this act.
It wasn't a good business move.
Yeah.
It'll be a good business move for the owner 50 years from now.
The next owner.
When we're all dead.
The next owner that comes out, rips out all that shit, brings it back to its original condition.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody's saying. It's just sell the place.
Yeah.
And you're going to make money off of it. So just sell the place, move on, and let someone that actually respects the property take ownership of it.
Yeah, I agree. I would never stay personally at the Conjuring house now.
Right.
And I wouldn't go to a day tour personally now at all.
Right.
I wouldn't give my money at all
Right.
to that business.
Yeah. So we also need to talk about the hitman at the Conjuring house.
Wait. Oh,
Agent 47 himself.
from Turkey?
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about it. Was he there? Holy crap. No, if he was there,
And
she
his
wouldn't be
cat.
around anymore.
And his cat.
And his daughter.
I want to see the Olympian from Turkey and his cat.
That's not the Olympic guy you want to see. But anyways, we'll move on.
That's right. The best
Pole vaulting.
the best Olympic meme, better than the pole vaulter, was South Korea brought their best shooter. Turkey brought their best hitman.
I love he's the best. He might even be a great person. He's probably a terrible person,
I don't
but
know.
but like
He's super cool.
I just like love the look of a dad up there, like just
gone. Boom,
all right.
boom.
Silver, thank you very much. Have a nice day. He's even got his hand in his like. You can imagine there's like a pack of cigarettes in there. He's just
Just like that was another really good meme from Shaolin Soccer.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Okay.
So there's a hitman now.
There's so we have video footage this time.
Of a hitman.
So we have video evidence, which is unusual to have at the Conjuring house.
Any evidence at all.
Any evidence at all. But we have video evidence. All right. It was Jason Hawes of Taps
Is the hitman.
that was there to assassinate her.
Wow. So like up until that point, I'm thinking she's just a terrible boss.
Yeah.
But now, in my opinion, I think it's
Something psychological.
something psychological, yeah.
Yeah.
Or she's possessed.
Yeah. Psychological. So.
She could be possessed by.
But possession means that the Conjuring house has some legitimacy to it.
Who is Bathsheba? So she's possessed by
Bathsheba. Sure, why not?
I would. Like we're watching the possession in real time.
Yeah, sure. So, so what occurred with this video was that there was. So you've gotten rid of everybody, right? You fire. They quit. They all quit. You have one person on your staff left.
So she fired the main guy, and then everybody else quit
left.
except for one person.
Right. Got one person left. So there was someone that was scheduled to be there for the night, and
no one let them in.
And no, they got let into the gate because there's a gate first, so they had to get let in the gate. She's the only one there, so she let them into the gate. They pull up, and she goes out and talks to them. And they're like, "Yeah, we're here for the night. Can someone help us?" And she's like, "Yeah, absolutely, sure. Just let me go back in the house. I'll be right back." She goes in the house, pulls out her phone, and starts videotaping them and saying that they're there to kill her.
Did she ever let them in?
No. They sat out there for a couple hours and then left.
So she just stole their money.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. And so they pulled back out. And so when you see it, so they've been sitting there this entire time. She didn't get that video, but she gets the video when they pull out. So you can't see who's in the license plate or the front. Just because it's a white truck or a red truck is a red truck or something like that. And that was it. And then immediately posted to Jason that said, "I know it was you that was trying to kill me. And you guys are so dumb that all of your Facebook messages are going to be made public, proving that I know it was you."
Wow.
So the look on Jason's face was like, I don't know what's going on here. Because,
And he's just living his life. Like, he's got nothing to do with the Conjuring house.
well, actually, he does. So he's got a daughter there.
Okay.
And he has done work for her for free.
Wow.
So they had some plumbing issues. He still works for Roto-Rooter, apparently. I think he might be a spokesman or something like that, but he still does jobs. And they had a leak, and he went out there and helped them with the leak. And he also installed like a floor jack because it was a little sagging in one spot. So he's done free work for them because he believes in the Conjuring house and helping out.
And the lore around it.
And then the lore and helping out anything
That's
paranormal.
You should buy it. Oh, Jason Mewes, right?
Snitchy boochies.
No.
Jason Hawes. You got me doing it now. Jason Hawes should raise capital and buy the Conjuring house.
Yeah.
That would
be amazing.
That is peanut butter and chocolate right there.
Yeah, because he would gut all the bullshit, and he would just be like, "Here it is. Here's the building. Here's the information, and $100 a night. You guys can come out and do whatever you want to do."
Mm-hmm. But if he buys it for a couple million, because at this point it would probably be worth $2 million, would be the fair asking, or 2.5.
Right.
He would have to make that money back. So $100 a night wouldn't cover it. But if he did just the basic, okay, you are a YouTube channel, you pay $2,000 a night for a YouTube channel. If you're not a YouTube channel, you pay $1,000 a night,
Yeah.
which is fair. We do the daily tours.
Yep.
We move the gift center to an off. We open up that
Yeah, and we
space.
just build a little building off to the side that does the
and
yeah.
that has the gift center where you buy your tickets.
Yep.
And we do the daily tours, and
And we would go.
totally we would go.
Yep.
And he would make his money back.
Yeah.
With that. And then
Because he lives in Rhode Island.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah, they're from Rhode Island.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, I think they're only like. I think he said he's like an hour and a half away from the Conjuring house or something like that.
Yeah.
45 minutes to an hour
He
and a half.
could raise the capital really easily.
So I think it even could be better than that because he still has all of those connections with like, who's he with? Paramount? Who's
I have no idea.
Travel Channel? He was with the Travel Channel. I think he was one of the originals before Ghost Adventures got on the Travel Channel as well. So I think it was Travel Channel that he was on. So but he still has all these connections. Those could be the investors that are like, okay,
if
cool,
they could
and we're
do
going to
a
do
new-
shows off of this
A
and
new
everything.
reality show based on the Conjuring house with him leading it.
Yeah.
And
There's a million different things that could be
he
done
could
with it.
work on the promotional stuff. Like that is like perfect.
Yeah.
That would be so great.
It would be. It would be. I don't think she would ever sell, though. That's my opinion on it. Even if it was like $5 million, I don't think she would sell.
Well, she's got to start losing money quickly.
She has this
because-
connection. She has this connection. With it. Yeah, and there's already like teams of paranormal investigators that are. They made a video. They're like, we're boycotting the
Conjuring
Conjuring House. Thank you. The boycotting the Conjuring House, and you should too.
I agree with that.
And I agree with that too.
I agree. My end opinion is that we
But
should
actually,
not-
let's say this to the way that it actually should be said. You shouldn't boycott the Conjuring House. You should boycott Nunes. Because you're not boycotting the location. The location is still the location, but it's the person that owns it. That is the problem right now, in my opinion.
Right. And the location of the Conjuring house is such a beautiful story. So my wrap up on this whole Conjuring house story is the Conjuring house is such a beautiful story and a piece of American history, a piece of modern American history of two individuals that created an industry and created these really fun stories around hauntings. And if they knew they were fake or not, that's for another discussion.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, the Conjuring house.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's hard to support somebody who is price gouging, who has these crazy stipulations, and who fires people based on what she's hearing in her head. It's all unhinged, and in my opinion, I don't think should be supported. But if Jason Haas buys it, I would totally go.
Yep.
I'd go to Rhode Island.
Yeah, and I agree with you as well. There's not too much I would add other than I think where the real damages occurred is with the smaller paranormal investigative teams. So the big teams that can afford to go, it's like you have to have the numbers and the money to actually enjoy it, so that you are stifling these small channels that could actually do really good
Or
by
even
going to the
just-
Conjuring house.
Ooh, the door just opened on its own. Or even just small families like us that enjoy that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like as a family, we
How fun would it be to go at night and do a night there?
Yeah, we
But not
love
for
stuff like that.
$1,800.
But she's totally price gouged us, just normal
Yeah.
families.
Yeah.
And we might film a video or two just for our own benefit.
But we can't. Yeah, and that's okay. You just can't upload it to YouTube.
But by the price gouging, it's just not
It's not worth it.
not worth it.
Yeah.
I'd much rather, like I said earlier, spend my money at another fun haunted hotel with a fun haunted ghost tour with
Yeah,
my
'cause-
family.
You guys went to the Crescent Hotel. You guys had a good time there. We went to the Stanley as a family. We had a good time there. And we went to Dixieland. That was definitely haunted.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Opryland, yeah.
everywhere we go, we stay at the haunted hotels. And
try
that's
to.
where we spend our money is at the haunted hotels. We stayed at this really haunted hotel near Point Pleasant. That place was super scary, and a lot of fun. It was scary just because
Point Pleasant is scary.
that whole
But-
region is really scary, and we love to do stuff like that. But the Conjuring House is now out.
It's off, yeah. It's off our list until, and I don't care if she makes changes. I won't go as long as she's the owner there.
No, I won't.
I know that means a lot. My money that I never would have spent there, and my channel, which has 2 subscribers,
Has no watchers.
no watchers. So I know this means a lot coming from us, but it is our opinion on this matter.
And that's what our cat, Winky the house cat, believes too.
Yes. Go Winky. All right. Guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe and comment and everything else. Did I add everything I need to?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All good.
So have a great day, guys.